So today we are going to see what is this phase space. So this concept was developed in the late 19th century by Boltzmann, Poincare and Gibbs. What is this concept and how it is going to help us in our statistical mechanics? So state of a particle at a given instant is defined by its position and momentum at that instant. Why is it important to talk about its position and momentum? At a given instant, if you know where the particle is located, that means if you know its position and if you know what is its momentum, a momentum tells you in which direction and with what speed the particle is moving, because momentum is m into v. And also momentum tells you what is the energy of the particle, right? And so if you already know the position and momentum of the particle at a given instant, it becomes easier for you to predict where the particle will be at the next instant. Okay. And so now the phase space is defined by the position and momentum coordinates of the particle. Then what is phase trajectory? Curve along which a phase point representing particle moves in phase space with respect to time. Phase space has position and momentum coordinates. Within using those position and momentum coordinates, if you can locate the particle at different times with respect to time when the particle is moving, at different times you locate the position of the particle knowing its position and momentum, and then you can draw a curve along this particular phase space, and that curve is called as phase trajectory. For example, if you have a three-dimensional coordinate system xyz, a position of particle is given by its x coordinate, y coordinate and z coordinate. Now, if the particle is moving from one point to other point with respect to time, we just find out what is its new position coordinate, and then we draw the curve showing how the position coordinates are shifting with respect to time, and that we consider as the curve which is given in the three-dimensional coordinate system. In the same way, in the phase space, when you are talking about the position of a particle, you are considering its position coordinate as well as momentum coordinate. So now I'm coming up to six-dimensional phase space. In this six-dimensional phase space, we will say that we require six-dimensional phase space for a three-dimensional motion. In the three-dimensional motion, now when we are going to consider that, we need to know the position and momentum of a particle, we will need its three coordinates for the position x, y, z, and we will need three coordinates for its momentum px, py, pz. That means in all we need six coordinates, and so this particular phase space will be six-dimensional phase space. So six-dimensional phase space is used for three-dimensional motion of a particle. Now, state of a particle system which is having n number of particles. So now, if there are n particles in the system, then we have to consider one point with respect to every particle in that phase space, which is right now we are talking about six-dimensional phase space. And if you want to locate the system in this particular six-dimensional phase space, you will have to consider the positions, that means the three coordinates for position and three coordinates for momentum for every point. That means in all you have to consider that for all n points, each one representing one particle of the system. And this six-dimensional phase space is then called as molecular phase space or mu space. Okay, where you are going to represent your system with one point per particle. Each point will be located with the help of three position coordinates and three momentum coordinates. Okay, now let's look at another concept for this, and that is, let's come here. Instead of six-dimensional phase space, now we are talking about 6n-dimensional phase space. So if you have n number of particles in the system, you can represent your system of n particles with just a single point. That means in this 6n dimensional phase space, to show the location of a point, you will need 3n coordinates for position and 3n coordinates for momentum. And then using 3n position coordinates and 3n momentum coordinates, you are representing the full system, okay, of n particles with the help of just one point in that particular phase space. And this kind of phase space is called as nu space. Okay. Okay, good. So now let's see what is phase cell. Okay. When we talk about phase cells, it is like one cell represent one particle state. Now, when we say particle state, what is a particle state? It is nothing but a micro state. Okay. Is it a micro state? A micro state represents state of a system. Okay. Now, if you are talking about a single particle, okay, that single particle can exist in different particle states, and that particle state will be represented by one phase cell. Okay. So when you have position coordinate of a particle, so I'm saying that a particle is located at, say, position X. Okay. But when I say it is located at position X, I cannot give this value as a perfect value without any uncertainty. So I'll say that it is located anywhere between X and X plus dx. That means there is an uncertainty in the location of the particle. And that uncertainty is shown here by dx. Okay. Similarly, we will then have uncertainty in locating its momentum. And that we can denote as px. Okay. Now, if it is a classical mechanics case, in classical mechanics, the location of particle, or I would say its position and its momentum, they are not related to each other in the sense of uncertainty in the position and uncertainty in the momentum. They are not, they don't depend on each other. They are not interrelated. So it is possible that we can have a system in such a way that we can go on decreasing the uncertainty in the measurement of position as well as momentum simultaneously. But that's not the case in quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, we know that there is an uncertainty principle, and that principle says that if we say that we can locate a particle with its position having uncertainty delta q, simultaneously we can talk about its momentum with an uncertainty of delta p in such a way that delta q into delta p is approximately equal to h. Actually, if you see any quantum mechanics book, you will find that it is given as delta q into delta p is greater than or equal to h cross, where h cross is equal to h upon 2 pi, and so h cross is less than h. So we can right now say that delta q into delta p is approximately equal to h. Now what does this mean? That means in our phase space, if we have to locate the particle, that particle we cannot say is existing exactly with a position coordinate q and a momentum coordinate p. But it will be anywhere in a small area within the phase space where the volume, this volume, when we are saying, it is not exactly a three-dimensional volume, but we can say it is a volume, that means the region which has a volume as delta q into delta p, which is approximately equal to h. And this h is then called as two-dimensional volume of a phase cell. Okay. Now I'll talk about this in a different way. What does this mean? That means if you have some box which has some dimension L, so total volume of the box is LQ, and you want to know how many particle states are there within this box or are possible to be there in this particular box. For that, you know now from this calculation here that one particle state represents one cell, And if I can divide this whole volume in smaller and smaller and smaller cells, such a way that I can now definitely say that at any given instant, particle can be in any one particular cell, then the number of cells having that much volume within that full box tells me how many particle states are possible to exist in that box. Is this statement clear to everyone? I'll repeat this part. If we say that we have a box of volume V and we go on dividing this in a smaller and smaller and smaller volumes, say delta V, okay? This smallest volume delta V will be such that I should be able to, for guarantee, say that the particle can exist at any given instant in this much volume delta V. If I say that position of the particle is q and momentum of the particle is p, there is an uncertainty always along with the values which I am mentioning. So q will have an uncertainty of delta q and p will have an uncertainty of delta p. The uncertainties delta q and delta p cannot be reduced independently. There is an equation given to us in quantum mechanics by the uncertainty principle, and that says that delta q into delta p should be approximately equal to h. That means the smallest volume in which I can surely say that the particle exists will be equal to delta q into delta p, that is h. Okay, so this total volume V of the box can be divided into small volumes which have a size of delta V, which is approximately equal to h. And then I can say that the number of small volumes delta V in this total volume V tells me how many particle states are possibly existing in this total volume V. Clear? So then this H, it's called as two-dimensional volume of a phase cell. Now let's come to this concept.
Ma'am,
yes.
will that number of like particle states will be the maximum number of particle states, right?
Right. Maximum number of particle states within that much volume. Okay. Now let's come to this. Here, okay, when I talked about this, I have not right now consider three-dimensional or six-dimensional case. I've just considered one-dimensional case, right? One position, say x, and one momentum position, that is px. Okay. Now let's come to this. In 2f dimensional phase space, volume of a phase cell will become h raised to f. Do you understand this statement directly? Or I'll write something more in between. That is, let us consider three-dimensional space. So if you have three-dimensional space, okay, when you say three-dimensional, what does that mean? That means you have three position coordinates, x, y, and z. Okay. Now, because we want to represent a position of a particle, not with only the position coordinates, but also with its momentum coordinates. Instead of three-dimensional, we'll say that now we are taking six-dimensional space. But when we say that means we are taking six-dimensional space, why are we taking six-dimensional? Because we are saying that there are 3 degrees of freedom for the particle. What does that mean? The particle has 3 degrees of freedom. That means we are not talking about the motion of the particle only along x-axis, but we are talking about this motion along x, y, and z axis. So its position will be given with respect to its x, y, and z coordinates, as well as its momentum will be given with its x, y, and z coordinates. And so we need 6-dimensional phase space. Now in 6-dimensional phase space, there are 3 degrees of freedom for the particle. And so in this 2f dimensional phase space, that means if f is 3, this will become 6. Volume of phase cell will become h raised to f. So in this case, it will become h raised to 3. Now why h raised to 3? Because then we will have delta qx, delta px equal to h. I should say approximately equal to h, not exactly equal to h, but we will later on anyway going to say this as equal to, or going to use it as equal to. At the same time, delta QZ, delta PZ should be approximately equal to H, and I didn't write Y, so let me write that Y. Okay, also approximately equal to H. But then volume of the phase space will be the product of all these three. And so the volume of the phase space here, phase cell, sorry, the volume of the phase cell should be equal to H raised to 3. H into H into H, that is H raised to 3. So in general, in 2f dimensional phase space, volume of a phase cell will be given as H raised to F. Is this clear? What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is, yes, 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 sir.
So so I just have to clarify something. So in 3-dimensional, are we considering one particle, and 6-dimensional, are we considering like 2 particles?
No. Right now I'm talking about only one particle. I'm just considering different dimensional phase space with one particle. So I have one particle. For one particle in a 3 degrees of freedom system, it will have 6 dimensions. Why 6 dimensions? 3 for position, 3 for momentum. Okay. So along the x-axis, it will have uncertainty in the measurement of its position related to the measurement of momentum along x-axis, and that will be related by this equation. Delta qx into delta px is approximately equal to h. Similarly, yes,
ma'am, can I clarify one thing? So now we are talking about 3-dimensional systems, right? So we are talking about x, y, z space coordinates, right? But suppose we were considering a 1-dimensional system, so we have motion only in x plane, I mean x along x direction, then we would be plotting the particle along x as position and y as px, right?
Okay. See, it is little difficult to imagine it that way. If you are talking about this x-axis, okay, and if it is 1-dimensional, that means your particle is moving along this axis. So at certain time it was here, some other time it is here, and so on. Okay, but when it is here at some time, it will have some momentum. Now, if you say that you are taking momentum along y-axis, that is not what we are right now talking about. This is not considered right now as the momentum, but to imagine as a 2-dimension, that is to imagine that x, that is position as 1 dimension and momentum as 2 dimension, yes. 2nd dimension, yes, you can say that this is the position momentum coordinate px. Okay, and so when this is the position coordinate, this is the momentum coordinate. Okay, that is all right. Okay, now when I say that the particle is here, that means it has this as the position and this as the momentum. There is an uncertainty in the locating it, is mentioning its position. Similarly, there is uncertainty in mentioning its momentum. That means around this point or around any point where you say that particle will be, then you have to consider some small area within which it can be actually existing at that instant. And you cannot say exactly at the center of this, but it can be anywhere here. Is that clear? And this area will be then equal to h. And that we are considering as volume of, here it is, 2-dimensional volume of a phase cell. Clear? So when we say 2-dimensional volume of a phase cell, this need not have dimension of meter cube. Now when we come to 6-dimensional example, so we have x-axis, y-axis and z-axis for, so x, y and z, okay, for position. At the same time, we may have, say, dpx. I'll take another color now. We may have px coming, say, here. This is px. This is py. And this is pz. Okay. Now, when you say the particle is here, this particle, when it is here, there is an uncertainty in mentioning its x coordinate. There is an uncertainty mentioning its y coordinate as well as z coordinate. And at the same time, there is an uncertainty in mentioning its px, py, pz coordinates. So there will be some small volume around this point, okay, within which you can say it is located, not exactly at the center of this or at any particular point in this. And the volume of this will be decided now by the uncertainty principle, because each of this product, dqx, dpx, should be approximately equal to h, dqy dpy approximately equal to h, dqz dpz approximately equal to h. And so the volume of this particular phase cell in this particular 6-dimensional phase space will be now equal to h cube, and that power of h has come from the degrees of freedom the particle has for its motion. So today we will stop over here. In the next lecture, we will derive expression for number of particle states over a certain range of energy. Thank you.